Hello, my king.
Hi, sis. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. So yeah, I finally found the picture, the two of us. Yay!
That's amazing.
I scrolled through because it doesn't have a very good search facility on Instagram. So yeah, scroll through years and years. Oh, look at that! That's amazing.
Yes. Let's see. Yep. Perfect.
So yeah, how many did we finally get registered?
I mean, many, but I'm not sure. Plusieurs personnes. We should let people in, like.
Yeah, in about 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I, is it easy for me to share my slides?
Yeah, of course.
I've not used Google Meet before for presenting. So how do I share them?
You see the smiley? Once
yes.
I'm done with my screen, I will give you the hint to share your screen. So you will need just to click on that and then choose what screen you need to share. Give me just 2 minutes. Go into the restroom quickly.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. The time is right. So we'll start in like 5 minutes. Thank you for the smiley, the hearts.
It's lovely to see you, Faiza. If remember at the end, if you've got any questions, then do please ask your questions later.
Yes, and I have many questions to ask as well. A lot of
I know, that's
they did.
great.
Yeah.
It's lovely to see you, Rory. Very early in the morning for you. Thank you so much for joining. And we're going to have the questions right at the end. It's so lovely to see your smiley face. So thank you for that. And Zineb, are some of the people in here some of your team, are they?
Yes, we have Fatima. I mean,
Hi, Fatima.
Yes.
Hello, Mean.
Yes.
How are you? Fine.
Great to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Nice to meet you.
And you. Yeah, so we're just waiting on a few others. Looks like people are going to come in right at the time of 11 o'clock. So
Yes.
are they going to show? Aren't they going to show? Are they going to be late? So it's nice to see everyone here so early.
Absolutely.
Now, we do have the chat as well. So I don't know if you want to introduce yourselves to others just by saying who you are in the chat so we can get to know each other. And maybe if you want to put in your the social media platform that you'd like people to connect you with on, you know, because some of us like Twitter, some of us like LinkedIn. So if you just want to write a few notes in the chat just so that we can get to know each other, it'd be lovely to network with each other, really. Now, I know Rory and Thursday know each other. I would love you to learn about what Helen does because she is amazing. So, yeah, if you just pop in the chat who you are, what you do, and your favourite social media platform that you'd like to be connected with.
Yes. Write everything in the chat. We will talk about it. Even your question, we will discuss them in the end of FOMO presentation.
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. If you did have a question, if you write the word question at the start so that we know that it's a question, because sometimes with these webinars, you get a lot of people who are talking and chatting and, you know, so we just want to make sure that we don't miss your question. It's lovely to see a few more joined us. Nadia and Fiona, hello. Great to see you. So yes, we're going to use the Google chat. So if you want to introduce yourselves, tell everybody who you are, what you do, the best social media platform to connect you on, just so that we can start a little bit of networking, getting to know each other. It'd be lovely to connect after this webinar.
Okay, so I think it's the time. Shall we start?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that.
So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's session. I'm thrilled to introduce you our special guest, May King Tsang, also known as the FOMO creator. May King is globally recognized expert in real-time social media marketing. She leverages the power of fear of missing out to create buzz, engagement, and excitement for brands, events, and businesses. She has worked with some of the biggest conferences and brands, helping them maximize their online presence and generate real-time engagement that translates into impacts. From live tweeting to strategic social media storytelling, she knows exactly how to turn conversation into conversion. Today, she will be sharing insights on how you can leverage FOMO to drive engagement, build brand authority, and create a digital presence that keeps everyone talking about your business. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming May King Tsang. And thank you, May King, for being with us today.
Oh, you are very welcome. Now, I haven't used Google Teams before to deliver a talk, so I still don't know how to share my screen.
Next to the smiley.
Oh, next to the smiley. I was clicking on the smiley. That's no good, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. That's better, isn't it?
Hi everyone. I think you're muted.
Hello, May King.
Oh, hi. I'm still trying to present the screen and
you click on the icon next to the smiley.
yes.
Click on it. Oh, perfect. I think it's working now.
But it's not sharing the presentation, is it?
Yes, you need to choose. Yes, now we can see it. Perfect. Good job.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Fabulous. Okay, then. I'm not very good at the technical stuff. That's why Zineb is here. Well, hello, everybody. My name is May King Tsang. My first name is May King. Today, we are going to be talking about how to create FOMO for your business on social media and learn how to love it. And these are the ways in which you can contact me. I am on LinkedIn primarily, and you can also catch me on WhatsApp as well. That's my number there. I have been a trainer for businesses, universities, colleges, and charities for over 25 years. And I've delivered specifically social media training and FOMO strategy for 15 years. I was actually hired by Google for a year as well in that time. And I've also been a FOMO creator since 2009. But this isn't about me. This is all about you. And today we are going to be looking at how to create FOMO for your business on social media and learn how to love it. So first of all, we're going to talk about why FOMO, of course. We're going to be looking at the 4 steps to FOMO with case studies, and we're going to have a Q&A at the end as well. So why FOMO then? If you were to Google it, it will actually tell you that FOMO is anxiety that an exciting or interesting event may currently be happening elsewhere, often aroused by posts seen on social media. Now, we have all experienced FOMO, I am sure. You know, we go on our phones and we look and we think, oh no, our neighbour's gone on their third holiday.
I'm sorry, May King, to interrupt you. Can you put it on full screen?
Yes. Okay. Is it not on full screen?
No, now we cannot see it. Just share your presentation and just put it on full screen.
Okay. I'm so sorry about this. We
still have time. Take your time.
Where is it not showing?
I just share your screen, and I think we'll be able to follow with that.
She's just trying to increase the FOMO about the presentation, aren't you?
No, I have two screens, and I don't know why it's not showing my big computer screen rather than my small screen. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yes, I think that's the right one.
Is that right now? Can you see it full screen now?
Yes, just go ahead. Don't worry about it. Yes, perfect.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay, then. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, so we're going to be looking at FOMO then. So it is anxiety that an exciting or interesting event may currently be happening elsewhere, often aroused by posts seen on social media. And we've all experienced this. You know, we've gone on our phones, we've looked at someone else and we think, oh gosh, they're on their third holiday, or oh gosh, they've bought a new pair of shoes or something like that. But in business, FOMO is actually a good thing because we want to get people to see your content, see what you do, see how excited you are, see the results that you are giving to your clients. And then people think, oh my God, I need to buy that product. I need to buy that service. And so in FOMO, in business, it's actually a good thing because it sells tickets for your event. It sells products and it sells services, and it helps you to fundraise too. Now, I have helped businesses to sell tickets, to sell products, to sell services, and to fundraise for charity. So I've done all those things. And this is a link to a lovely lady, Danny Wallace, who's one of my clients. She had a conference. She hired me to be a FOMO creator. I created lots of stories, lots of interviews, all on Instagram. And she sold out within 24 hours because of the content that I generated. Now, she was a guest on a podcast from another lady, Nikki Hutchison, who is another one of my clients. And so they both explained how FOMO really helped to sell out at their conferences. Now, as I say, FOMO is not just for events, it's also for products, services, and for fundraising as well. Now, who is a FOMO creator? Well, you are. And using social media to generate that buzz, that excitement, that hype, what we need to do is, if people don't know who we are, we need to raise awareness about who we are on the socials. So brand awareness is the first step in people getting to know who you are. The second step is you can build relationships with people. and get people to like you, just like you guys are doing today on the Google messages there. You're getting to know each other, and hopefully you can gain some trust by showcasing that you are an expert in your field. By writing lots of social media content, you're garnering the trust of people. And it's all well and good you telling the world how amazing you are. Wouldn't it be amazing if other people told the world how amazing you are? So putting your client testimonials, your case studies onto the socials is really useful. Helps to gain more trust. And what I mean by notoriety is to get famous. Now, I don't mean be a Kardashian, but you can have your certain level of notoriety by showcasing that you are amazing at what you do. And when the time is right for your lurkers, because we have all got lurkers on the socials, people who are looking at your content, but they're not liking, they're not sharing, they're not commenting. When the time is right for them, then they will slide into your DMs. So FOMO can actually help to generate leads for you without you going out to search for leads. But you can go into other people's DMs as well. I've done it several times where I noticed that on LinkedIn, people were viewing my profile. So they must have been nosy to see who I am. People have been looking at my Instagram stories. So again, they must be interested. So I will have a quick look at their profile and see, oh, I wonder what they are. And if I think that they're interesting, then I'll start a conversation with them. But I can't start a conversation with people if they haven't been looking at my content in the first place. So you can see here that this is a 5-step process, BRAND, and when the time is right for your lurkers, they will slide into your direct messages. Now, I mentioned that you are all FOMO creators here today, but I'm also a FOMO creator available for hire. You are also a brand. And according to Google, we have 7 seconds to impress somebody when they are looking at you from their desktop, but only 4 seconds when they're looking at you from their smartphone. So we need to make those seconds count. Now, I mentioned earlier that Google actually hired me to be their team leader for a project for a year where I gave lots of social media mentoring. I delivered training programs as well to members of the public, to students, to people wanting better use of their phones and tablets. And I also went to businesses to teach them about Google. And that's how I learned about this study that Google had said. We've got 7 seconds to impress somebody when they're looking at you from their desktop, 4 seconds from their phone. So we need to make those seconds count. So in order to get people to understand who we are, check your bio, check your first post. What is the first thing that people are going to see? Now, if it has a link that's incorrect, then that's going to put people off. So then they're going to go to your competitor. So do check that from time to time. And now and again, I do change my pinned post. On my Instagram stories, I might change my highlights. On my LinkedIn, there's a featured post there. I might change those. So do check them from time to time. Now, much as it's important to create FOMO, so create content for your socials, the biggest thing that people fail to do is to build relationships online. So I'm encouraging you to engage more. So create more content and engage more. So go on to other people's content, not to thrust your virtual business card at them, but to comment about that particular post, not to say, oh, hey, I can do you this thing. I can provide this service for you, but genuinely look at the conversation, see what's happening and get involved. Okay. And of course, the big thing that most people do, which is great, is to showcase that you are a leader in your field. You are an expert. And, that's fantastic. But we also need to post consistently. And that's something that people might forget from time to time. Now, posting consistently doesn't mean every day, 3 times a day. It's whatever is right for you. And as I mentioned, don't forget to share your testimonials, make some case studies, explain how you got the client, explain what you did for the client, and maybe add the testimonial at the end of it. So you're sharing a full story, a full picture of what it's like to work with you. And as I mentioned, when the time is right, you'll get people coming to you, but you can also go into their DMs as well. So we need to make those 7 seconds from the desktop count, or the 4 seconds from the smartphone. Now, I actually delivered a very similar talk in Dublin, which was my closing. I was a closing keynote, and I talked about from brand to FOMO. So I'm actually giving you 2 talks for the price of 1 here. And you'll gain a copy of these slides as well later. So you don't need to write this link. You can always look at those slides later on. But we're going to look at the 4 steps of FOMO today. We're going to look at the fear in FOMO because I know you're scared. I know you're scared about social media. You're worried about what people think. You're worried that people will judge you. And to be honest with you, you're not going to be liked by everybody. You are going to be judged, but ignore them. You know, if you were bullied at school, we were told to ignore those bullies, weren't we? And it was hard to ignore them, but we ignored them, right? So same thing. If people are judging you, ignore them. Comment if they've said something to you, but just be neutral about it. Take the passion out of it. Now, a psychologist once said to me, we don't have imposter syndrome. We have imposter moments. So he encouraged us to learn from the moment, reflect on it, learn from its lesson, and move forward. And even he had an imposter moment when he was about to come into a Zoom room to speak to 30 business owners when he mentioned that, even though he's been delivering this training for 25 years. So it happens to us all. It's part of the human condition. It will never go away, but we need to learn how to cope with it. So the next time you think, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, just breathe, stop, learn about why you're doing this thing, reflect on it, learn from the lesson, and move forward. And the next thing is comparisonitis. We do this all the time. Again, part of the human condition. We look at other people, think, oh my God, they're doing so well. Look at me. Oh no, I'm not doing so well. But you must never compare your journey with someone else's journey, because you are amazing at what you do, but they might be rubbish at what you do. So that's why we need to learn to collaborate. So let's, Zineb, for example, amazing at tech, and I'm rubbish at tech. So we're learning to collaborate. So do not compare your journey with someone else's. I want you to feel the fear and FOMO it anyway. And in learning to love how to feel the fear and FOMO it anyway, remember why you're in business in the first place. So for me, my reason for being in business is I want to make an impact on everybody that I meet, whether that's online, whether that's in person, whether that's people reading my content on the socials, whether they are lurking and never interact with me. If they found my content useful, I've done my job. That's my why. So when I remember the impact that I'm making, suddenly I make it less about me, and suddenly I'm not so scared anymore. And when I say be your own BFF, be your best friend forever, what I'm saying is when you post content onto the socials, you might look at it and think, oh my God, that was rubbish. Look at my double chin, look at my white hair. That's what I do with myself sometimes. But then I remember, I pretend that I'm my best friend. I'm looking at my best friend on the socials, and I will give them good feedback, and I'll give them constructive feedback. Okay. So be kind to yourself. Constructive feedback is good, but don't be hard on yourself. And that will hopefully help you to get over the fear and help you to get more braver with creating more content to generate that FOMO for your lurkers. Now, FOMO bridges the gap between social media and PR. And for anybody who's seen this film on the left-hand side, it is a fabulous film. And basically, Jim Carrey's character, Truman, he was being recorded 24 hours, 7 days a week. And he was being recorded and he didn't know, but everybody was really hooked. Everyone was excited to see his loves, his loss, his highs, his lows, his everything. And they were hooked. Now, when he realized he was being recorded, he escaped. And the people who were hooked on his stuff, they went on their merry way. Now, for us in business, what I'm encouraging you to do is to create your own Truman Show. Now, I'm not saying record yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because that'd be boring. But you can decide what you want to put onto the socials. We need to get to know who you are as a person before we hear about your business. Because if you start posting and selling what you do all the time, it will get boring. And we don't like being sold to. So get people to know who you are as a person, first of all. You don't have to show your children if you don't want to. You don't have to show your partner, your pets if you don't want to. You can decide what you want to put out there and how frequently. But I do want to encourage you to create your own Truman Show. The second step is to own your ABCs. And A stands for authority. So if you are a writer, write blog posts. If you are using social media, maybe put up a photograph and write a really long post to go with it. Maybe do emails, maybe do newsletters, whatever is comfortable for you. I've put emails and newsletter in brackets because I don't have an email list as yet, but I will do. I'm hoping to this year. Now, you can guest blog for someone. So if there's someone in your industry that you really admire, why don't you offer yourself to be a blog to write a blog post for them? Why not be braver still and be interviewed and maybe become a podcast guest? So yesterday I was it went out into the general public, and I talked to the architecture industry on how to create FOMO, and it was fantastic because it got me into a new industry, a new audience. And if you're feeling really brave, you can become a live guest. So some people actually have live shows where you become a guest, and you can create your own live show as well if you're feeling bigger and braver as well. However, you don't have to do everything everywhere all at once, to point to my favorite film. Start small. Start where you are at right now. Now, I know some of you are doing social media already, which is amazing. So just review your social media, and can you build relationships with people more? Can you comment more? Can you share more? Can you engage more? The quality of your social media posts. Is there anything else that you can do? Maybe you haven't done video. Would you like to try video? If you have done video, maybe mix it up and do photographs and a blog post. So review what you've done at the moment and increase if you want to, or improve what you're currently doing. And just remember, you are an authority. You are an expert. Not everybody knows what you know. If you keep it to yourself, your lurkers and future clients will miss out. Now, I've done this many a time, #making mistakes, where I think, oh, everybody knows how to do this FOMO stuff. It's so easy. And I didn't put myself out there. But the thing is, it's not easy. It's easy to me, but maybe not easy for everyone else. So whatever you do in your business, it's easy for you, but not easy for everyone else. So don't keep it to yourself. Put your stuff out there and showcase that you are an expert in your field. This is my dear friend, Amanda, Spiderworking. Go and follow her. She's amazing. And she's an expert at Google Analytics and social media analytics as well, to help you to become a better business person. And she is an expert too. So that's A for authority. B is for BTS. No, I don't mean this global K-pop sensation. I mean behind the scenes. If you show behind the scenes of what you do, that demonstrates that you are an expert. So on the left-hand side, there's a photograph there where during the pandemic, a conference went from in-person to online. And so I was hired to create Instagram posts, tweets as well, and LinkedIn posts. So I'm just showing my picture, my PC, my headphone, and my mobile phone there. On the right-hand side, this is a picture of me filming. So I film everything on my phone, doing interviews with people on International Women's Day. And so that showcases my expertise. I've got a tripod there, I've got lights. It tells the people of the world who are looking at this post, I am an expert. C stands for create content for your lurkers. Now, don't get obsessed with fans. Don't get obsessed with how many followers you have, how many connections you've got with LinkedIn. When you put up a social media post, don't feel sad if you don't have any likes, or you don't have enough likes or shares or comments. Because if your content is good, people are watching. You just don't know it yet. And it's really sad that people feel really dejected when they put up a post and they think, oh, I've only got 2 likes. That's not enough. You don't know how many people are looking. So please don't be discouraged by that, because it can win you business. Just like Rachel Spencer, fabulous lady, she has a membership for pet business owners, and she put out an Instagram post, a collection of her workbooks, and just explained, this is what you're going to get when you join my membership. 2 people signed up straight away. Now, in reality, it wasn't that one Instagram post that got the sign-ups. Those 2 members were probably lurking on her content for quite a long time, thinking, is this membership for me? Oh, I'm not sure. Is it value for money? I don't know. And if Rachel kept it to herself, she may never have had those members. So when you create content for your lurkers, and don't worry about how many likes, how many shares, how many comments you've got, you can gain prospects, you can gain leads, and it can gain sales. And for me, I've had clients who've looked at my stuff in just an afternoon and become a client. I've had other people who've been lurking my stuff for 18 months before they become a client, and everywhere in between. So I'm encouraging you to love, own, and share your ABCs. I want you to post more. I want you to share more. I want you to engage more. And remember, you are an authority in your field, and it isn't bragging if you can back it up, as Muhammad Ali says. So you are a leader. You've got these great testimonials. Share them. Don't worry about telling the world how amazing you are. Now, we want to build the momentum in our product sales, our service sales. And so I want you to treat everything like an event. So before an event, at the event, and after event. And it can work for products. Just like this lady, Kate Holroyd, dear friend of mine, travel agent. She decided to help other travel agents just before the pandemic. And she thought she had this great idea. I wonder if people will find it useful, travel agents find it useful, if I create a planner that contains lots of social media ideas throughout the year. And she didn't keep the idea to herself. She actually asked people, what do you think? Is this a good idea? People said yes, which was great. So you can see there, pre-FOMO, she shared the idea. She took a poll. Lots of people said, yes, it was a good idea. And she started telling people about what she was going to do. Live FOMO then, she was actually telling people as she was putting the planner together, getting ideas to put into the booklet, getting sponsors to advertise in her booklet, even the front cover, do you like this cover? Or do you like that cover? She got the people involved in it. And that was live FOMO. And then post FOMO, she actually had a target to sell 250 and she sold 300 because she generated FOMO. If she'd have waited until the planner was ready, then post it, she would have lost all those sales. So don't keep an idea to yourself. Ask your community for questions and all the rest of it. Get them involved. Make them feel part of the community. It works for fundraising as well. So when the Ukraine was invaded, my friend Natalie Pithers, she's a genealogist, helps people to search for their ancestors, but she has a love for history. And she had the idea in a shower, like all great ideas, and she shared the idea on Facebook and said, do you think it would be a good idea if I tried to raise money for the Red Cross? She said yes. And in 2 weeks, lots of people volunteered to take part, 50 speakers. I was a volunteer as well. I tweeted, and it was a 24-hour event where historians would share a great story about history, a moment in time. And a lot of great historians, really famous historians as well. Lady Diana's father is a historian, and he contributed his time. Lots of other people contributed their time as well. And so in the 2 weeks in the lead up to the event, £13,000 was raised. On the day itself, 24 hours, 30,000 was raised. And then 48 hours afterwards, a total of £52,000 was raised. So if you have a product to sell, make it into an event and create pre-FOMO, live FOMO, post-FOMO. Now, and that goes with services as well. And on the right-hand side there is a non-profit that I work with, Young Leaders in Cricket. I deliver a training program, have delivered it for 3 years now on how to use social media to fundraise. And I talk about the pre-FOMO, live FOMO, post-FOMO as well. So, unlike Marty McFly from Back to the Future, we don't have a time machine. So if you don't create pre-FOMO, live FOMO, post-FOMO, your lurkers, your prospects, your clients are definitely missing out. So create an event out of anything, whether you've got a product-based business, a service-based business, or a charity. Create an event out of anything and generate that pre, live, and post-FOMO. Now, the fourth step is on the day, because the best time to market your next product, service, or event is at this one. This is me at Atomicon 19. Andrew and Pete. Andrew on the left and Pete over the right underneath Atomicon sign there. And you can see in the screenshots on the left there, someone asked a question, why did you buy tickets for this conference? And Ella actually said utter FOMO. She saw all the content that was posted and she just couldn't wait to buy a ticket for the next event. And Catherine underneath that said exactly the same. She saw all the content that I had generated. So Andrew and Pete hired me to generate lots of tweets, Facebook posts, Instagram stories. And I think I did 1,074 tweets for them. It reached 28 million people. I did 5 Facebook Lives, 20 Instagram posts, and about 100 Instagram stories, something like that. And they combined with a FOMO strategy, email strategy, and social media strategy, they sold 425 tickets for next year's event, something that's happening next year. Now, the lovely ladies here, Nikki and Abby, they also had an event too. They had their third event this year. And they hired me last year to create just Instagram stories. So I did 74 Instagram stories, 6 Instagram posts. They sold out of their super early bird tickets within 24 hours, which is amazing. So that's it, folks. That's my 4 steps to FOMO. We talked about fear. We talked about FOMO. We talked about owning your ABCs. We built the momentum so you can create an event out of anything. And we want to create pre, live, and post FOMO. And the best time to market your next product is actually at this product, during this campaign. And that's what I mean by on the day. So I just want to thank you for your time, folks. And let's have a look at the questions, shall we? So I'm going to end my slides, stop sharing. How did I do, Zineb? Oh, Zineb, I think you have your mute on, do you?
Wow, sorry about that. Well, I was saying thank you so much for this amazing presentation. You have given us a lot of and so much to think about harnessing the power of FOMO in our digital strategies. I got a lot of questions for you, surprisingly, right before the webinar. So let's start with our first question. What should I do if I keep posting but I get little engagements? So, May King, what's your intake on this?
This is a very common question, and thank you for asking it. It goes back to the engaging with other people. So if you are a member of a group, whether that is a WhatsApp group, a Facebook group, a LinkedIn group, or if you are a member of a particular group, get involved in that conversation. Okay, don't shy and just start talking to people and be helpful as possible. And remember, we don't like being sold to, do we? So don't go in with the intention to say, oh, by the way, this is my business card. Just be as helpful as possible. So today, actually, I commented there is a Facebook group for an event that's happening next week. And there are a few people who are a little bit shy. And they actually posted, I'm a little bit shy. It's my first time. And so I posted, hey, don't worry. It was my first time last year. Watch out for the lady with a black beret, black sparkly beret. I'm going to have my FOMO creator top on and I've got a big belly laugh. Do come and say hello. And I actually took a picture of myself and put it up in the group just so that people can get a sense of who I am. And in fact, Zineb, that's how we met, wasn't it? You know,
Yeah,
it was our first time at a conference, and you said it was your first time. So I said it's my first time too. Let's see if we can meet. So now I didn't sell my services to Zineb, and in the Facebook group today, I didn't sell my services there at all. What I'm doing is just making a connection, just trying to be helpful to someone who is nervous about going to an event. So there are introverts and there are extroverts, and I call myself an ambivert. So I'm a bit of both. So I know that when I go to an event,
I don't agree, May King. You are such extrovert with a lot of positive vibes. So yeah.
No, I'm a good actor. No, I actually get nervous going to conferences myself. I really do. But remember, when we feel all the fear and FOMO it anyway. So I pretend I breathe and I think, no, I'm going to help someone. I'm going to make an impact. I want to help that person. I want to make an impact. And then I go in, feeling a bit bigger and a bit braver. So by engaging with people a little bit more, don't be impatient. Don't try to sell your services. But if you come across as a really nice person, then people will look at your profile, think about what you do, and so on. So hopefully that answers that question.
Oh, that was such valuable answer. Thank you very much. And I will add up to this, as you said before, there is the lockers. So people might see your comments on your post and might not engage, even though the reach is very important. So it's not an indicator after all. Okay, moving on. We have another question: how to create captivating media posts to get owners rush into book.
Yeah, so the urgency thing is really interesting because there are people who will say, oh, if you don't buy this Friday, then, you're going to miss out. And then come the Monday, they'll say, oh, no, if you don't buy this Friday, you're going to miss out. So there's a lot of people who, unfortunately, create this false urgency and pretend that they're going to miss out. And so it leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. So when you want to make it captivating, you have to stay true to what you say. Mm-hmm. And there is that balance of saying there is urgency and a lot, and then if there are genuinely more tickets that have been released, you can explain that again. So, for this webinar, I mentioned, that it's going to happen. But I didn't say straight away that there will be a recording, because we don't want lots of people registering and then, and then not coming to the webinar today. So you create the right kind of urgency. Remind people about what they're about to miss out on. Remind people of, past clients who have taken your service or product in that campaign. And that is how you can create a really effective FOMO campaign and create that urgency, but also create that anticipation, and hopefully then people will buy from you. And also as well, you have to be brave enough to go and reach out to people. So, Zineb and I, when we put this webinar out at the beginning of the week, we didn't have that many people signed up. I think about 4 or 5, something like that. We were thinking, oh my gosh, not many people. So I had to reach out to people to check that they are signing up. So you have to do a little bit of work yourself in order to get people to buy from you, as well as creating those captivating posts.
Would it be like giving free advice and answering questions rather than being too silly or trying to push your product or service? Thank you. So the next question is that person is curious about timing with changing algorithm. So she asked, with the ever-changing algorithm, what's the optimum time you would run a FOMO campaign to get good exposure, but without losing the sense of urgency?
Yeah, I don't look at algorithms personally, because if you become obsessed with the algorithm, then suddenly you will actually lose sight of what you're trying to do. And what you're trying to do is to help people. So you have to test and experiment, because there's no point, what works for me may not necessarily work for you. And so, some of my friends, they post every day on LinkedIn because that is what works for them. But that doesn't work for me. I post until, and I'll get, a few shares, a few comments, a few likes, the reach is increased over time. And when it stops getting engagement, then I'll post my next post. So that's two strategies there. It depends on, yourself really. So don't be worried about the algorithms. Do have a look to see what's working and what's not working. But do remember that only applies to you. There will be experts who will say, oh, you've got to post on a Monday, you've got to post on a Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. on a Tuesday. But, where in the world are you? Who are you trying to reach? Are you selling a product? Are you selling a service? Is your community engaged already? Or do you need to do a lot more work to get your community engaged? So different people are at different stages with their community. And so that's why I'm encouraging people not to get obsessed with the algorithm. Just keep posting good quality content. As Zineb says, if you've had some great questions, put out that question and say, here's my answer. And that showcases that you're an expert and encourages people to trust you a little bit more.
Absolutely, May King. Thank you. And if you, as you said, we keep our time, or we spend our time looking for algorithm change, it's not something that will end up. Algorithm change day to day. So yeah, we can look it up like once per month or once per year, but not each time. Thank you very much. We will move on to the next question. So another interesting question. How will you build FOMO if you are going to help at someone else's stand?
Amazing. That's a great question. And just to let you know, Thursday also said that different niches result into different social media strategies as well. So that's a really good point there, Thursday. So just think about that when you are when you're posting. What is your niche? What is the platform? Because different platforms require different strategies. So that's a really great point. Thanks for that, Thursday. Now, you are helping someone on a stand. This is absolutely brilliant. Now, hopefully, the person who you're exhibiting for doesn't have a big ego. Now, what I mean by that is you are helping that person stand, and you can help that stand by showing more of yourself, by saying, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to, be helping at this stand. So remember that pre-FOMO, live FOMO, post-FOMO I was talking about. So depending when your event is, so if it's the one next week, SBS, or if it's Crufts a little later, or if it's another conference or event, this is the pre-FOMO period right now. So search on the hashtag. All good events should have a hashtag. Search on the hashtag and see who's talking. And again, you don't want to thrust your business card at them. See who's talking, what they're talking about. See if you can get into a conversation. Imagine if they were in front of you. We all know how to talk. We all know how to get into a conversation. Imagine if they were in front of you and they just said what they said on social media. How would you respond? And just get into that conversation. And just, if they say, oh, I'm really excited to be at this event, you can say, oh, yes, me too. I'm going to be at stand B67. What about you? And that's how you get into the conversation. So search for the hashtag, see what conversations are being had, and get involved in the conversation. That's what you can do. The second thing you can do is, as I say, I hope that your stand owner doesn't have a big ego. You can also be a little mini personality for yourself by posting a lot about what you're going to be doing at the stand. So, if at the moment you are helping putting the leaflets together in a bag, post about that. If you are going out to the shops to buy something for the stand, I don't know, I'm making things up. Again, post about that. You can never post too many times because not everybody is going to be looking at your post 24/7. And this is the thing that most people forget when they're exhibiting. They never do the pre-FOMO period. And what you want to do is to get people to know you before you're even at the stand. So giving information like this about what people are going to expect on the stand, if you were exhibited there last year, then you may say, we got some great questions last year, and this is how we answered them. Give as much feedback as you can to help people to know what to expect when they come to your stand. So create a personality for yourself if your exhibitor owner doesn't have an ego, and be as helpful as possible. Get into the hashtag, get involved in other conversations, let them know that you are also going to be there as well. And keep posting. And when on the day itself, this is live FOMO, on the day itself, be as helpful as possible. So, maybe take a bit of camera footage and say, if you want to come to stand B52, let me show you. And then do a bit of a camera footage to get people to know how to navigate to your stand. So those are the kind of things you can do.
Well, thank you very much. I have few more questions. I know we got a lot of questions. So let's get the most important one. Are there different strategies to create FOMO between products and services?
That's a very good question. I'm going to say no, because ultimately you're selling a thing, aren't you? You're selling a thing. It doesn't matter if it's a real thing or a physical thing, you're still selling. So you still have the pre-FOMO period, the live FOMO period, and the post-FOMO period. So I'm encouraging you all to create an event out of your product, or create an event out of your service. Think about the service you're going to sell. Think about the period that you're selling it. Okay. So for me, I tried to sell my FOMO hour surprise at the start of January, and I had a cutoff point, which was the end of January. I had a special offer, so I had 4 weeks. So that was the pre-period, and I talked about my service, what people would expect in that service. I talked about my testimonials from people who have received my service, and I explained what they're going to get out of it. So, talk about it in lots of different ways. And with your product, it's the same thing. You can, if you've got the product at hand, do a video and show the product, okay? Show that book or show that widget, whatever you're selling. Let people know how amazing it is. If people have bought it already, get them to take a selfie and tell the world how amazing it is. And you can share that on your socials as well. So, the pre-FOMO period is exactly the same. And the live period is, as you've sold something, a product or a service, tell the world that you've just sold it, tell the world that people were happier with it, and keep letting people know that they're happy with it. Don't forget to get those testimonials and reviews, Facebook reviews, TripAdvisor, Google reviews, whatever it is, even, message on text message or what have you, and make it pretty, post it onto the socials. So, remember that, make an event out of your product or your service. So pre-FOMO, live FOMO, post-FOMO.
Thank you very much. And we have a last question that we can consider a last question because it will summarize what we have seen today. So what's one piece of advice you could give me to make a powerful brand, and what are the key steps that I need to follow to do so? I mean, we have talked about the brand framework, and you own your FOMO. So I think it's quite answer this question somehow.
Can you just say that again? I didn't quite catch that.
So the question was, what's one piece of advice you could give me to make a powerful brand, and what are the key steps that I need to follow to do so?
Okay. Now, you are a brand. What you sell is a brand. Everything you do, everything you say, everything you put out on social media is representative of your brand. So in order to make a compelling brand, you need to be consistent. You know, whether you want to show up in person or whether you don't want to show up. So there's some brands who never show their face, you know, because they're scared of showing their face, and that's absolutely okay. But what they do is post really good information, really good videos of their product, really good stories about their product that they're selling, really good photographs. So think about, go back to your posts at the moment and review them and think, how can I make it better? So for me, I had to get a better phone because one of my clients, they loved what I did, but they said the photographs were rubbish and they deleted some of my posts, which is absolutely fine because that's my client at the end of the day. And they taught me a lesson, and I got a better phone, and they still hired me the next time, which is even better. So think about what you've written. Can you improve on it? Can you tell a bit more of a story? What's happening on Instagram? What's happening on LinkedIn at the moment, and certainly on Instagram as well, is people are telling a full story. They're telling the full story behind a picture or a video. So if you're currently just posting with a couple of sentences, can you expand your story? Just really go deep into what you're showing at that moment in time. These are all things that you can really help to produce a great brand. And go back and review your bio, review your photograph. Is your photograph up to date? Don't show a photograph of you when you were 20 years old. Much as that is nice, if you're not 20 anymore, that's not a great look. And your first pin post, make sure that that is up to date as well.
Thank you very much. We have some few questions in the chat.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we still have like 7 minutes.
Okay.
So we have question from Bobo. What are the best way to create urgency without seeming spammy? How can I use storytelling to make my brand more engaging? What social media trends are currently driving the most conversation? And how often should I post to maintain buzz without burning out? And what are the common mistakes business make when trying to create urgency? It seems like a question for 2 other webinars. So we might need you again, May King.
Well, I'll sort of bring them all together very, very quickly. The urgency thing without seeming spammy. I love that question, Bobo. As long as you're providing good information, if you provide good content, answer questions, and then sell in between. So, if you have a campaign and let's say that we're going to post 10 times, maybe 2 of them is when you actually ask for the sale. Okay. The other 8 are a mixture of testimonials, case studies, giving information. And that's the way that you can appear not spammy. But also remember to get involved in other people's conversations as well. When you talk about storytelling, if you have children, how do you tell stories to your children? That's the way in which you can make your brand more engaging. Really go deep and really explain what it is you're about to explain. Go into a lot of detail of what you do and why you're doing it. Don't worry about the social media trends. Just worry about getting your content a lot better, and that will help to convert a lot better if you create better content. And the common mistakes businesses make when trying to create agency, we talked about that before, about the false FOMO, be truthful when you are genuinely about to sell out of your products or service. And how often should you post to maintain buzz without burning out? That's something that you need to try yourself, because I don't know your energy levels. I don't know if you've got a high energy threshold or a low energy threshold. You just have to try. And when you feel burnt out, go back and measure. Okay, well, how many posts did I post before I got really, really tired? That's a good one for you to measure how well you're doing.
Amazing. That was fantastic, May King. Thank you again for being with us, for joining us and sharing your expertise and knowledge. I will ask our attendee if they have any last question. And I thank them all for being here with us. Thank you, Hassan. Thank you, Alain. Thank you, Kautar. Thank you, Youssef. Thank you, May King, of course. Thank you, Najia. Thank you, Rory, Sukaina, and Tersa. And if you still have any question, we can connect on LinkedIn, Instagram. Feel free to connect with May King and ask her as much as you can. I mean, take advantage of that. You can hire her as well if needed. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for all your support.
Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you.